These are what is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, my name is Lex and thank you for clicking on today's video. Today I'm going to be doing a perfume empties video. I will still be doing a roundup of all of the fragrances that I emptied at the end of this year, so stay tuned for that. These are just the fragrances I emptied in the last few months, really since I did my last empties video. And normally I do all of my product empties and perfumes in one single video, y'all, but it has been a few months since I've done an empties, so I have accumulated quite a lot of things and I really just needed to separate my products and my fragrances. So I have a good chunk of fragrances here. There will be a product empties to come shortly after this, so stay tuned. But anyways, if you guys enjoy empties videos, please do not forget to subscribe, okay? And also don't forget to hype this video. Hyping my videos definitely helps to push me in the algorithm so that more people can find me, and that greatly helps support my channel. So I have everything linked in the YouTube shopping pictures that will be popping up most likely as I talk about these, and if you choose to shop through those links as well, that also greatly supports me in my channel and I greatly appreciate you. Now let's jump into this empties. Okay, so here is my box of perfume empties, girls. So I am just going to grab and go, and hopefully we don't break anything in the process. So I think I'm going to go by brand. I have actually 3 here from one particular brand, so we're going to start there. So the first one that I emptied, you guys, is Sniff's Cocoa Shimmy. This is one I was wearing a ton this summer, y'all. I loved this so much. If I don't have a bottle of this already on deck for next summer, I will absolutely be getting this because, y'all, I was loving this summer. This is definitely a very summer coated scent, you guys. Like, to me, this really just smells like the most delicious ripe juicy pineapple, and there is some coconut in here too, but for the most part it just smells like a super juicy, most bright yellow pineapple. Like when you first cut into it, the sweetness just kind of like tickles your lips a little bit. Like, it just smells so incredibly good and I absolutely love this, so I will definitely be repurchasing this. And one thing I also love about Sniff fragrances, which is something I'm trying to be a lot more aware of, especially as I get older and just doing a lot more health conscious things all around, as far as like the things that I put on my body, things that I put in my body, obviously, but fragrance is also something we don't necessarily think about. We're technically breathing in chemicals, and while these are all things that we love, it's very important to me that I try to incorporate more clean options when I can. And that's one thing I love about Sniff, because they are a more clean fragrance brand, so I just love that I can douse myself in their scents and not feel as guilty. I do wish they had larger fragrance options, of course, but that's besides the point. I love that they are this cute little size and you can just throw them in your bag. I think I just like kept this in my bag with me throughout the summer. It just smelled so good. If you love a pineapple scent, it smelled so good, y'all. I absolutely love this one. Next from Sniff, this is one that I'm actively wearing, that I already have a bottle of. This is one that I think is only exclusively on Sniff's website. I could be wrong, but of course, like I said, I will have it linked, and I do have a discount code with them, so I will have that in the description box. Sniff's Naughty Nona. This is one of their secret launches from last year, and I absolutely fell in love with this, y'all. This was one that got me so many compliments, and like, I'm obsessed with this. I'm already halfway done with the bottle that I'm currently working on, but ooh, this is basically a rum fruitcake scent. And even though fruitcake is like not the most popular thing as far as a dessert to eat, smelling like it, y'all, smells so incredibly good. It's basically got like this Dolce & Gabbana devotion DNA, but it also kind of smells a little bit like Lattafa's Khamrah. Like, it has this boozy cinnamon dessert like vibe to it. It's also not super rich and dense. Like, this is a perfect layering scent, I feel like, and it had a good amount of longevity and projection to where it was also not going to be choking you out. So I love this one. Very fruity, in your face, gourmand with this kind of boozy, resinous, slightly spicy undertone. And yeah, this smells so good. So I'm very glad I already have another bottle of this already in the works, because I was obsessed with this one. Lastly, this was another one. If you guys watched that video where I was talking about all of the fragrances I could not put down this summer, Sniff's Me was already on its way out the door, and I absolutely had to finish this up. This is one that I really am trying really hard not to repurchase right now, but this is definitely something I can consider to be signature scent worthy, or something that is perfect to layer with any and everything. This smells so insanely good. Another one that was a huge compliment magnet, an easy throw on and go that you can layer with everything. Just like the name says, It's one of those your skin but better scents that just kind of personalizes all of your fragrance layering combos, or if you want to just wear this by yourself. This has that very clean, airy musk, but there's also peach. I want to say there's even plum in here, and then like caramel, and there's something a little woody in here too, like a sandalwood. I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember all of the notes, but that is what I smell in here. And y'all, this smelled so insanely good. Absolutely love this. This is definitely something I need to have in my collection, but I do have Glossier U. I literally have all 3 Glossier U's in my collection right now that I do need to finish, and they kind of give me the same vibe as this. So that is the only reason I'm not repurchasing this right away. Otherwise, I would be running to the store to rebuy this because I love this. Okay, y'all, now moving on to another brand that I finished 2 fragrances from. So these are from the brand Commodity, which I'm very excited. They actually have a new fragrance coming out that is a mango ginger fragrance, and y'all know I love me a good mango scent. So Gold and Milk are 2 fragrances that I have consistently emptied like since I started wearing these. So I want to say I've gone through at least 3 bottles of each of these, and both of these have become a staple. I would say Milk is more so something I wear more in the fall winter season, and Gold is something that I wear year round. Let's start with Milk. So if you guys have not ever heard of this fragrance, if you've never seen me talk about it on my channel, which I've talked about it a million times, but Commodity does this thing called scent spaces where they have 3 different strengths of their fragrances. So the ones that are in the white bottle with the silver writing, those are considered the personal scent space. So that's more so an intimate, something you might just want to wear for yourself, or if you're cuddling, snuggling, or you just want a very lightly projecting scent. To have this bottle right here, which is what I have in both Gold and Milk, which is called the expressive scent space. So these are going to be your black bottles that have the white writing on them, and they are slightly more projecting than personal, not as intense as the Bold, which is the one that has the kind of goldish writing on the black bottle. This is Milk, and this is a tonka marshmallow milk woody fragrance. Smells so freaking amazing to me. I was captivated by this scent from the first time that I smelled it and had to have it. This is just giving me cozy holiday vibes. Like I instantly smell this and I just have such vivid scent memories of just the past few years of me doing different things in the fall and winter, because it just gives me that instant cozy vibe. You are absolutely getting a fluffy marshmallow, but it's like a roasted marshmallow, like you're roasting it over a fire or something. You're kind of getting this woody undertone from the firewood. You have this soft ooey gooey center. It's a little lactonic, it's a little creamy, and the woody notes in here really amp up that sexy, slightly spicy, just intensity of this scent, so it's not like a basic lactonic scent. I do find though with Commodity fragrances, I like to finish, like especially a bottle of this size, I like to make sure I finish them within 6 months to a year, because from my personal experience, I feel like Commodity fragrances are just stronger and longer lasting the faster you use them. I have had experiences where if I don't use my Commodity fragrances within the year, they just don't last as long for me. Some brands, they're not like Middle Eastern brands where they like get better and longer lasting with time. I already have another box ready to go, okay, for this season, because I just cannot be without this scent during my fall and winter months. Which of course brings me to Gold. This is another one that, ooh, it's just a captivating scent to me. Now this is definitely not as gourmand as Milk. This is going to be in your aromatic vanilla family, and a fragrance that this always reminds me of is Byredo's Gypsy Water, because it has kind of this aromatic element to it, borderline fresh, clean, spicy, but you're also getting this really creamy, warm, cozy vanilla. And this is another great layering scent that's really going to just add an extra elevated layer of vanilla to your scent. It's just another easy reach, cozy grab and go for me that I, again, already have another bottle ready to go. Just absolutely love this one. Speaking of clean brands that I feel like perform better when you use them up very, very quickly, the next one that I'm going to be talking about is Clean Reserve's Whipped Cherry. If you guys watched the video where I talked about the fragrances I could not put down this summer, this was another one that was heavy in the rotation that just transports me to the summer. Tropical pineapple drink, right? A colada of some sort, something just really, really fruity with whipped cream drizzled on top and the sweetest of maraschino cherries dolloped on the top. That is what this smells like to me. And it kind of also very faintly gives that Ariana Grande cloud / Baccarat Rouge DNA on the undertone. So it really just smells like an elevated pineapple cherry whipped cream scent, and I absolutely love this one, you guys. It had great longevity as well. I loved to layer this with the Sol de Janeiro Beija Flor, the Cheirosa 68, the body cream and the body mist. Such a killer combo, y'all. Loved it. Smelled so amazing, and this is definitely one I could see myself repurchasing next summer. I don't know why, like, since I just started wearing this in the summer and it just gives me summer vibes, that is just the time of year that I want to wear it now. So while I really did love and enjoy this, I don't see myself repurchasing this right away, but another love for me. Now I think this is it for my quote-unquote cleaner fragrances, but this is another brand that I have talked about on my channel very loosely before, and this was a scent that I really wanted to finish up last year, and I'm glad I finally finished it. But this is Nets the Vanille. It's not really a gourmand vanilla. This is definitely in the same family as your Byredo Gypsy Water, as again Commodities Gold, but this also very faintly reminds me of Paco Rabanne's Olympia, where it's a more aromatic vanilla. There's matcha in here, I believe, but there also smells like there is some sort of like salt, where it almost smells like one of those beachy salty vanillas, if that makes sense, but it's still very fresh and aromatic. So this almost kind of gives me the vibes of like a spa or like a hotel lobby. Like, it just smells very calming, very soothing, and this was another easy throw on and go fragrance for me. I also love to spray my clothes and my closet down with this. Anytime I open my closet doors, I would just be hit with this really like calming, relaxing spa like vanilla, and I just loved how that smelled. So yeah, I absolutely would repurchase this. Even though I'm not going to repurchase this right away, I can see myself repurchasing this for my like summer vanilla for next year, for next summer. For now, I think gold is going to just kind of satisfy the craving that I have for scents like this, but I did really enjoy it, and if you are a lover of those aromatic, slightly salty vanillas, you would definitely really like this. I also emptied my little baby bottle of Black Opium Le Parfum, my favorite Black Opium flanker. I love it more than the original. I have yet to actually try the cherry one. I know so many people say that one is amazing, but I have not tried it yet, so I will try it at some point. This one was definitely such a nice, cozy vanilla. Still paid homage to the OG YSL Black Opium DNA. I feel like it kind of scaled back that coffee note that some people may or may not have been a fan of, and it just amped up the vanilla. Gave me like a Starbucks drink, coffee, creamy milky latte with extra vanilla syrup. Like, that's kind of what this smelled like to me. I don't really feel like I need to repurchase this because honestly, I wore the OG Black Opium for so many years in my early 20s that I kind of got burnt out from that DNA. So it was a good little refresher to have a different version of that. But especially now, since I have finished this and I have my Bath & Body Works Midnight Addiction or Midnight Obsession everyday luxury scent that is in the black bottle that's supposed to be inspired by this scent, I think I'm okay with just that if I am in the mood for that type of scent DNA, and I don't necessarily need to go out and repurchase the perfume. So I do want to try the cherry one at some point though, but for now I am good. Loved this, but I don't need to repurchase it right now. Okay, now this was another one that I absolutely loved and definitely would see myself repurchasing if I did not have the 3 Glossier You fragrances in my collection that I need to get through. But this is Letta's 22 Oris, and I want to say this is my first ever fragrance from this brand. I loved this, you guys. I love this so much. This is basically Glossier You Second Skin, sweeter, your skin but better type of scent. This one added a fluffy marshmallow and really soft pear, so it almost turns it into more of a gourmand experience, I would say. So if you like Glossier You, this is basically a marshmallowy, softer, feminine version of that, and I found this to be very addicting. This was such a good one. This is another one also that I wore it a lot last year, and then I kind of put it on ice, and then I was like, no, let me go ahead and finish this up. But I got tons of compliments on this as well. It's just one of those easy reaches. Again, I loved to wear this to like my Pilates classes, or if I was going to work and I wanted something very inoffensive. I try to reach for things like this when I'm going to work that really just makes it seem like I smell fresh and clean, but a little bit of sweetness added. And I think this was like a perfectly done version. At Letta, they just have really great scents, and also the the bottles are just gorgeous on the vanity. So yeah, it's very hard for me to choose a favorite, but I think this is the one that I was the most pleasantly surprised by how much I loved it by the end of the bottle, and that is none other than Ariana Grande's Mod Vanilla. Now I know y'all, this bottle is horrible, okay? This is literally a horrible bottle. I was not super impressed when I first purchased this, and I was literally letting it collect dust, and I was about to declutter it, but then I was like, you know what, let me try this again, let me wear this to work, let me see what it's about. When I tell y'all, I got so many compliments on this scent. Think Kayali the Wedding Silk Santal or even Kayer Felicity. It is those scents, but softer. It does not have that cassis note. If you guys have been following me, y'all know that is the one thing about Kayali's the Wedding Silk Santal that I just do not like. I know it is super hyped up, so many of the girlies love it, but that cassis note in there does not work for me. This basically is a version of that fragrance without that sour smell, and it just smells more marshmallowy, more fluffy. And y'all, it's just the most creamy, soft vanilla, but it has just a little bit of richness to it, and another highly complimented one. I feel like I'm gonna say that about a lot of these, but this one specifically, I noticed for sure when I was wearing this, I would get tons of compliments, and this ended up becoming a signature scent for me at work, that so much so that when people would smell this in the air, they'll be like, Alexis must be here, because I smell that perfume. So yeah, I love this one. I will 100% be repurchasing this because I feel like this smells better than Kayali the Wedding itself, as well as the dupes, the Kayer Felicity, all of those. Like, I really love this, and I feel like there is a hole in my collection now that I don't have this. Like, I don't have something in my collection that immediately reminds me of this, you know what I mean, when I'm in the mood for this scent. So I do genuinely miss having this in my collection, so I definitely think I'm going to be repurchasing this one for sure. My beloved Lattafa Angham. Y'all have seen me talk about this multiple times in so many videos, and I mean, there's just nothing to say other than this scent is worth every penny. And of course, it is a dupe for Burberry Goddess, which I equally love and did not want to spend the $100+ on at the time. So the fact that I have this, I was just so elated. Another huge compliment magnet. This is basically Burberry Goddess with a sweeter, smoother composition, smoother dry down. Does not have as sharp of a lavender note, which I usually am not a lavender fan to begin with, but I can tolerate how it's done in Goddess. This is just such a sexy, sophisticated, easy reach vanilla. Like, it hits so many marks. This could be every day. This could be going out. This could be one of those scents that if you only had one perfume in your collection, this could be it. This could cover a multitude of occasions, different moods. This was a love 10 out of 10. Absolutely have to have this back in my collection at some point. This next one was another fave that is inspired by another one of my favorite designer fragrances, which is Dolce & Gabbana's Devotion, but this was Lattafa's Victoria, y'all. 100% worth the money. Would absolutely repurchase, especially if you love Devotion, or if you don't like Devotion because of how sharp the lemon is. This is basically that creamy lemon custard, lemon pie DNA from Devotion without the sharp lemon cleaner astringent opening, and add a more fluffy marshmallowy dynamic. I vividly remember every time I wore this because I know for sure I got a compliment every time it was worn. I wore this a ton in the spring and summer, so I want to say I finished this one up like shortly after my last Empties video. So this one has been empty for a little while, but this is just such a good one, y'all. Such a good one. If you have not tried it yet, please do, especially if you love your lemon fluffy gourmands. You will definitely not be disappointed. Oh, speaking of marshmallowy fluffy gourmands, next I finished up my Paris Corners Marshmallow Blush, which is inspired by, of course, Kayali's Yum Bougie Marshmallow. I have two, actually no, I think I have 3 dupes in my collection of that fragrance right now that I am working on, that I'm trying to see what I like more of. I also have a 100 ml bottle of the fragrance itself, so it's safe to say I just love that scent DNA. It's like a candy strawberry, candy marshmallow with a little bit of candy lemon, and it just smells fun, girly. It just gives, I'm just a girl. Like, I love the scent DNA. You love your powdery candy sweet scents. It's almost kind of like Dolce & Gabbana's Devotion and Burberry Her Elixir had like a love child. Like, it's just a little candy strawberry, a little candy lemon, and boom, you just have this beautiful strawberry marshmallow candy scent. Like, and I absolutely love it. My Yum Bougie Marshmallow definitely lasts way longer. winter. I loved it for what it was, and if you are looking for a way to smell like the Kayali Yum Bougie Marshmallow DNA without having to spend the money, I still really love this one. The last full-size fragrance that I emptied is none other than my beloved Lattafa Khamrah. And just seeing this bottle empty is like so satisfying because like it just looks so pretty. But this is the very first Khamrah that I had in my collection. Obviously this is the first one that came out, but this was one of my first true Middle Eastern fragrance loves because y'all, this smells so incredibly good. First of all, it was so long lasting, y'all. Like, I've had this particular bottle of Khamrah for at least 2 years now, maybe longer. Like, I feel like I got this as soon as it came out, and it's been out for a couple of years now. So my juice was super long lasting, had great projection, and it's just this boozy, cinnamony sweet, almost like a cinnamon rum cake, rum chata. Like, it just smells so insanely good, and I loved this for fall and winter. I do currently have Khamrah Kawa, which is basically a coffee forward version of this scent. I don't need to repurchase this right away, but I love this so much, and another highly complimented one. I always like to say this is inspired by Kilian's Angel Share, but this is definitely not a dupe. I feel like it's way less masculine than Angel Share, and it just has a more approachable, softer, boozy cinnamon gourmand type of DNA, and I absolutely love this one. I have this little candle full of minis, travel sizes that I emptied. So I actually did empty a couple more Sniff fragrances. One, of course, is a mini of my Cocoa Shimmy. So since I already talked about that, I'm not going to discuss it again. I also emptied a mini of Crumb Couture, which is a yummy, delicious, very literal, like blueberry cobbler, blueberry pastry type of scent, and it smells really good. But I do have to be in the mood for that, which is why I really have not worn the full-size bottle that I have much, but it literally smells like a blueberry pastry. So it smells good, but I have to be in the mood for it. So I have a few here from the brand Vola Spa, I believe. I think I got these as like samples or something. So let's just talk about them one by one. So I have always known them to be a candle brand, but they did recently release fragrances. So I'm glad I was able to try these out because I don't know that I would splurge and spend money on any of these. The first one is going to be Peachy Queen. And from what I remember, y'all, this is just kind of like a peachy, slightly musky, but more so clean peachy fragrance. It almost smells like a peach soap, and I didn't really love this one. It almost kind of gave me like peach potpourri type of vibe, and yeah, I was hoping for something closer to the Glossier You or like how the peach is in Sniff's Me. I was hoping for something similar to that, but this really just gave me kind of artificial peach candle, peach home scent. It very much smells like it came from a candle brand, so did not love this one. I would probably not repurchase. This one was another one that I actually did like, but the longevity was not great, and I also could barely smell it. But this is Nude Effect, and this is in that same family as your Glossier You Second Skin like scents. But honestly, I would not repurchase this just because, number one, there are so many fragrances like this on the market that the performance really has to be there for me to really feel like this is going to stand out, and it's just not. It also, I could barely smell it when I put it on. So Nude Effect, I also will not be repurchasing. Now, Vanilla Visions. This is actually my favorite from the line, and it reminded me a lot of like Billie Eilish, Lattafa Nebras, and Nebras Elixir, to where it's kind of like a slightly spicy, sweet, almondy, kind of doughy vanilla. And I really did enjoy this, y'all. But for me, again, the performance of this was just not that great. The projection was also not that great. And considering this is not a brand that, at least at the time of me filming this, I don't think you can buy this in stores. I think you can only buy this from their website. A vanilla that you could probably find somewhere else. So again, not super unique. And I just feel like for these brands that are like coming into the fragrance market, especially for somebody like me who has smelled so many things, if it's not a brand that's already sold in store, there really has to be some type of uniqueness or something for me to really want to go out there and spend my hard-earned money on it. I don't think I would repurchase this one either. It did smell really nice. So if you are just itching to try another vanilla scent, then by all means, I do think this is the best one out of the 3 I've tried, but I don't think it is great enough to run over to their website and go buy it. And then I also emptied my Rare Beauty. This is the Give Comfort, I believe, or Find Comfort, excuse me. And I also really like this one. This is definitely another one of those clean, comforting, spa-like freshies. And I would absolutely buy a full size of this. I don't even think she ever released this in a full size, if I'm not mistaken, but I have heard that the Ariana Grande Love Notes perfume is very similar to this. Not the purple one, not the plush vanilla, but the first one that came out. So I may try that. But yeah, this is like kind of a peppery, clean, citrusy, musky fragrance, and I really, really like this one. The last little fragrance that I emptied is this extremely tiny Donna Born in Roma Green Extravaganza. And when I tell y'all, I need a bottle of this, okay? I need a bottle of this. This reminds me so much of both Commodities Gold as well as Net Divini, those very aromatic vanillas, but this has a unique tea note. Even though I was only able to hit my pulse points with this, I need a bottle of this. I need a full-size bottle of this. So I will absolutely be running to repurchase. I've been trying my best not to buy a ton of fragrances because I just want to make sure I am using my things. And I've told you guys this before in prior declutter videos. I am not someone that likes to have an immense amount of things, right? I have had a perfume collection in the 200s and 300s before, and that stressed me the hell out, okay? I do not want that for myself anymore. So I really have been trying to lock in and use my things. So yeah, y'all, these are all of the fragrances that I have emptied in the last 2 or 3 months or so, I would say. And honestly, I do have some fragrances that I definitely will most likely finish before the year is up. So stay tuned for my year-end perfume empties, but I will link the version that I did last year if you were interested in seeing that. And also stay tuned for my upcoming product empties, because like I said, I could not fit the products and the fragrances in one video. That would have just been way too much. Anyways, if you guys have tried any of these, or if you have emptied anything that you think I should try, let me know in the comments below. But that is it for today's video, and I will see y'all in my next one. Bye.